Howdy friends, I'm Morgan the Nerdy Cowgirl and welcome to my channel. So this video is going to be a recap of all of my uncomfy reads and other books that I read in the month of November. So the first book that I read was actually in October, so this might be an October-November book review. So the first uncomfy book that I read was The Whisper Man by Alex North. It is a horror book and it is about a serial killer who has been locked up years ago, and all of a sudden there is another murder that fits the same MO. So they think they have a copycat, and so they're trying to find the copycat. And it's also about a father and son who lost their wife and mother, and they move to this town and try to start a new life there. It was a lot of fun. I gave it 5 stars, and I loved it. I started with this one because it was my one that I was most nervous about, but I ended up loving it one of the most. Next, I read my first manga, The Count of Monte Cristo. I actually have, it's all the way up there at the top, I can't reach it, but I actually have the novel of The Count of Monte Cristo because I wanted to read it, but it's giant, I can't. So I figured I would read the manga for it. Manga. I'm gonna choose manga. That's what I hear everybody say. So I decided to read the Manga Classics manga for it, and I absolutely loved it. It was so much fun. I thought I would struggle with it because you read it right to left instead of left to right. I guess I should do right to left instead of left to right. But once you got into it, you didn't even hardly notice it. I loved it. Count of Monte Cristo is about a man who is like doing well in the world, and he's about to get a promotion, and you know he's about to get married, and everyone around him is jealous, and so they plan to get him arrested for treason. They like plant a letter saying that he supports whoever and that he's a part of this rebellion group, and so they get him arrested and basically imprisoned for life. Well, while he's in prison, he meets an old man who has hid some treasure on Monte Cristo, the island of Monte Cristo, and so the old man tells him where to find the treasure, and they dig a hole in like between their cells, and so they like can meet and talk and stuff like that, and he teaches him how to read, and yeah, so they build like a close friendship. Well, when the old man dies, Edmond Dantes, he gets in the body bag instead of with the old man, or instead of the old man, I can't remember, but he gets in the body bag, and so when they throw the body over the walls into the water, he's in it, and so that's how he gets free. He gets free and makes his way to the island of Monte Cristo and gets the treasure, and then comes back to get revenge on all the men who imprisoned him. And he finds out that one of them actually married the woman that he was supposed to marry and had a kid with her, and which in the movie I thought it was hinted that he was the father, actually. I don't remember. But so it's a revenge story, and it was so much fun. Next, I read Severance by Ling Ma, and this one I did not like. I think I gave it 1 star. Probably would have gave it 0 if I could. I just didn't like it. It's a lit fic. Technically, on Goodreads it says, "Did you just poop on me? She pooped on me." What? You want me to love on you? Give me love on you. So yeah, Severance I did not like as much. On Goodreads it says that it is a sci-fi, which it kind of is, but it's about a girl who is living through a like apocalypse. There's something called the fever, which is a fungus that people get, and it makes them repeat their routines. And she joins up with this group who are like all these people. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm explaining this right, but it was just, I didn't like it at all. I felt like it had potential. It had potential that it just didn't meet. I didn't. Yeah. My lit fic was not a very good match for me. If there's another lit fic that you think is better than Severance, let me know, because I will definitely take it. What? Next, I read The Housemaid, and I absolutely loved this one. I gave it 5 stars. It is about a woman who is just out of prison, and she becomes the housemaid, live-in housemaid for this wealthy couple. And the the mom seems like she is a little cray-cray, and the husband seems like he is too good for the mom or the wife, and so she's a little suspicious, um, but she ends up finding out some secrets, and yeah, it was amazing. I loved it and was gonna give it a 4.5, but then the epilogue just made it a 5 star for me. It was so good. I loved it, and I do plan on continuing the series. Next, I read the manga Dracula, and I checked all these books out from the library, but this one is one that I actually bought. I loved this one so much that I bought it. I love the play. I could go see the play every Halloween. I loved the manga too. So I was very happy with that one, and it was so much fun. I had to buy it. I loved it. It'll probably be a every year read for me. Next, I read The Secret History by Donna Tartt, and this one was okay. I gave this one 2 stars. It was just lacking, and it was pretty boring in the beginning. It was pretty slow to start, and then once it did start, it didn't really do much for me. Yeah, it was okay. I don't think it was bad. I just think that it was boring. Take it or leave it. The Secret History is about a man who goes to college, and he gets to be a part of this friend group in college, and one of them gets murdered. I'm trying not to give spoilers. One of them gets murdered, and so it is them dealing with that, and that's all I will say. That's not the fact that one of them gets murdered isn't a spoiler, because I think it says it on the back, and it's like the first chapter that you find out that he dies. So yeah, the rest of it is just them. I don't know. It's a lot of them just being in college and then dealing with the murder of their friend, and yeah. Again, I felt like there could have been more. And then next I read Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, and that one I did love. I gave that one 5 stars as well. And it is about a boy in a world where everyone is in this VR simulation, and the world is basically taken over by this VR simulation called the Oasis. And the inventor of the Oasis dies and has no heirs, so he hides a Easter egg somewhere in the Oasis, and he leaves clues to 3 keys and 3 gates, and whoever can unlock them all first gets the Easter egg, or gets his inheritance. So all of his money, all of his estate, control of the Oasis, all of it. And so it is about a boy who's trying to find that Easter egg. And yeah, I loved this story. I loved it so much more than the movie. And then after Ready Player One, I read Bride by Ali Hazelwood. And again, I loved this one. It was about a vampire girl who has never really felt like a vampire. She's always been used by her father, who is like the head of the vampires. She's always been used by him as collateral for peace between humans and vampires. She was given to the humans when she was like 8 years old for 10 years as collateral. If the humans protected her, then the vampires would protect the human that they used as collateral, and so it kept peace between the humans and the vampires. When she first came as the collateral, she had lots of bad behaviors and was just a nightmare. And so to help with that, the humans gave her a friend that stayed with her, and they became like sisters. And after that, she came back and didn't feel at home, so she went back to the humans. Well, her best friend, who was like a sister to her, disappears. And so she's trying to find her sister. She found a clue in her friend's apartment, or her sister's apartment. Well, she comes back to the vampires. She's summoned by her dad back to the vampires. And when she gets there, she hears that, you know, he's wanting to do the same thing, but with the werewolves. And he wants to marry a vampire to the alpha of the werewolves. And when he says the name, it leads her back to her friend. And so she's like, I'll do it. And so she marries the alpha of the werewolves so that she can go and try to find her sister. And I really liked it. I think I gave it 3 stars. It was different, and it scratched the itch of me wanting to read a fantasy or a romantasy. There were just some things that I was like meh about. The plot was pretty straightforward and, you know, engaging and stuff, and so I had a lot of fun. It was good, but the smut scenes were it was really weird. If you've ever seen a dog breed, yeah, think that. And then the last thing that I read was Romeo and Juliet by Manga Classics. Again, I loved it. Now, they didn't translate it into like modern English. I've seen that there was a modern English translation, but my library only had the old English translation. So, but with the pictures and stuff, because it's a manga, with the pictures, it made it so much easier to understand the old English. You could really understand it a lot easier because you had the picture for context, if that makes sense. So I loved this one too. I think I gave it 5 stars because, yeah, it made reading Romeo and Juliet fun. So, yeah, those were all the books that I read in October and November. I did do full reading vlogs for most of them, besides the mangas. So if you want to check those out, I will put those in the cards and in the description below. Feel free to check those out. And yeah, until next time, God bless you. Happy trails. Bye.